If you know anyone who works in any of the manufacturing companies in Nigeria, please pick up your phone, dial the person's number, and ask one simple question. How are you? I'm sure you're wondering why you have to do that. I will tell you the whys on the show today. This is MarketSquare. My name is Oluwapelumi Awe, and as always, I'm happy to have you along on the show today. Just a few days into the new year 2024, manufacturers have notified the public of a potential move to increase the number of those unemployed in the country by sacking some members of staff. Now, if you know the current figure, the number of those unemployed in Nigeria at the moment stands at 23 million people. Just imagine if more persons are added to that list, how difficult things might seem. But please don't call these people evil yet until you've heard the background story. So in the past 3 months, naira has depreciated, and by now you know, by 38.9% against the United States dollars at the official import and export window of the Central Bank of Nigeria. To be very, very exact, the naira fell from 745.19 per dollar on the 3rd of October 2023 to about 1,035 naira per dollar as of January 3rd, 2024. And if you trace it back, it happened that shortly after the announcement of the exchange rate unification policy of the CBN in June 2023, the naira has depreciated from 471 per dollar that it was to about 700 naira per dollar at the official market price. However, in the past few months, naira has fallen significantly to over 1,000 naira per dollar. Now, at the parallel market, the local currency has been trading around 1,220 per dollar in recent weeks. During a recent meeting of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Lagos Chamber of Commerce, and Industry Nigeria Association Small Scale Industrialists, it was agreed unanimously that the failing naira at the official and parallel market price was having a significant impact, a negative impact on their bottom lines. Specifically, the private sectors in that meeting all agreed that some companies were already scaling down operations over the development, and this has led to sacking of more staff. Despite the recent efforts by the federal government to improve the liquidity of the forex market, the rapid rise and fall of naira on the import and export window has continued. According to data from FMDQ Securities Exchange, naira has now lost about 38.91% of its value since October 3rd, 2023, and it closed trading at 741.19 per dollar on the import and export window. The central bank should take a comprehensive look at all the different policies that have come out from within its sector over a period of time and come out with an elegant document that states what is required from start to scratch and is clear on how to play that market. The CBN's decision to float the currency was hailed by organized private sector and economists who said the move would unify the country's multiple exchange rates and sanitize the forex market. But as it stands at the moment, if the current trend continues, the consequence would be disastrous for the real sector of the economy, which can lead to a total collapse of the sector. And that the real sector of the economy always impacts on economic growth, always impacts on inflation and the overall well-being of a country. And there you have where we talk about the production, we talk about consumption, and that can affect economic growth, can affect the well-being of any and every economy. MarketSquare reporter Favor had an interview with the CEO of a manufacturing company and has more to say on this.
With Mr. Kayode, who is the managing director of Dajo Industry Limited, about the recent news regarding companies planning to lay off their employees due to the prevailing unfavorable dollar to naira exchange rate. Mr. Kayode confirmed the news.
Yeah, my name is Dada Oluma Olukayo. Yeah, basically for now we are into the production of treated water in
Okay,
bottle and sachet.
okay.
We intend to go into the manufacture of juice later. So that's basically what we do. 50 cl for the sachet and 75 cl SKU for the bottle.
He explained the dire situation that the company was currently facing. Daju heavily relies on imported raw materials for their production, and the recent increase in the exchange rate has caused a significant impact on their expenses. As a result, the company had to put a hold on any salary increment, and there were no plans for replacing resigned staff. Mr. Coyote also mentioned that there was a possibility of staff layoffs in the near future.
What we are trying to do, starting of staff will be the last options. We are trying as much as possible to ensure that at least we live above the problem we have now. So today, the dollar is going to 1,300 naira, and the cost of these raw materials are up. Also, we cannot increase the price of the products more than what is already there because we have a stipulated price agreed by our association. So what we are trying to do basically is normally in this new year, we are supposed to have increased salary, but we are not increasing salary and no increment yet that will take place. And also we are trying any staff that resigns, we are trying as much as we not to replace for the time being. But sacking will be the last option, which we are not still, we've not completed it now.
He further elaborated on how the company imports most of its packaging materials, and the increase in the dollar exchange rate has affected their businesses immensely. The cost of production has skyrocketed, and the company was struggling to meet its financial obligations.
Most of the materials that is used for the packaging materials is imported. The polyethylene is imported. So automatically it's going to affect the cost of production.
When asked how the government could remedy the situation, Mr. Coyote urged them to take actions and support the manufacturing industry. He suggested that the government should provide subsidies for industrial materials rather and machineries, as well as reduce the cost of the seal, which is a crucial resource for the company's operations.
Yeah, just to encourage manufacturers, that is the major thing they need to do. Encourage manufacturers by doing what I will rather call subsidizing most of these import values for machineries and for raw materials. Also, since I work in the water industry, we have a petrochemical refinery in Kaduna. If the petrochemical refinery in Kaduna is jacked up and is producing, we might need to now depend less on importation of materials from China. So that is basically my own little suggestion. Let there be a waiver for importation of materials for manufacture, especially machineries, and also to see if the cost of diesel can come down because majorly for manufacturing, people that do not have gas lines around their area of production and they cannot use gas. And bear in mind the relative situation in Nigeria. Production using diesel is a bit on the high side. So if this can at least the price of diesel also can come down, at least the cost of production will come down a little bit.
Africa's largest syringe factory in Akwa Ibom State folds up 6 years after opening. We'll get to that in a moment, but that will be after we have done the numbers. As at yesterday, the 16th of January 2024, going by the central bank's published figures, $1, as at yesterday, $1 exchanged for 853 naira. In the black market though, $1 was exchanged for 1,300 naira. And that is about 447 naira more than the official exchange rate. Well, today, the 17th of January 2024, naira seems to have gone 58 naira lower than the dollar as it now exchanges for 911 naira for $1. Jubilee Syringe Manufacturing Company inauguration in 2017 was a triumphant occasion with shiny machinery and ambitious plans to produce a large quantity of syringes annually. It came with the promise to break Africa's dependence on imported medical supplies. Jubilee Syringe Manufacturing was a company backed by local and international investors and seen as a symbol of progress, more like a giant leap towards healthcare autonomy for a continent long plagued by medical vulnerability. However, the manufacturing company stopped its production many months back, and a memo addressed to all workers of the company has it that the company has stopped operation. As many reactions trailed this report, the managing director of the company, Mr. Akin Oyediran, said the shutdown was triggered by the harsh economic situation in the country. In his words, import duties are high on raw materials, dollars are high, and the cost of power is high. We're trying to do something to invest in different sources of power to make it better. But some have argued that the Akwa Ibom state government should have intervened to save the company from folding up. There have been times when a company, and this is true, the times when a company is at the verge of closing down, the government of the country, because every company that opens in any country has impact. For instance, if a company opens in any country, what that does, the multiplier effect of that is that more persons are employed. And when people are engaged, it is almost as certain to say that the crime rate will definitely reduce. An idle hand, they say, is the devil's workshop. So when people get employed and engaged, they tend to not want to engage in criminal activities. And so there have been times when a company is at the verge of shutting down, the government can come in. But at this time, as the company is reported to have not met its target for nearly 6 years now, and you know why they had to stop operation. Because it must have been that for men before this time, there must have been deliberations with the government of the states to see how that they can help them fix a few things. But 6 years without making profit is a lot to handle. And I think it's the right thing to do to shut down at the moment, re-strategize, check the script and see what has to be done. In its recent 2024 sector outlook, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria urged the CBN to prioritize forex and credit allocation to the manufacturers. The temporary shutdown of Jubilee Syringe Manufacturing Company is not unconnected to the over-reliance on CBN allocation for forex. 80% of what is used in buying some of the chemicals used by these companies require forex as they are gotten from outside the country. Companies that rely heavily on importing raw materials will always have the headache of the foreign exchange issue, and so did the GSM, Jubilee Syringe Manufacturing Company. Just like a chieftain in the Manufacturing Association advised that firms should build a shield against the unpredictability of the Nigerian currency via exports and backward integration policies. And by backward integration policies, I mean, for instance, a car manufacturer can acquire a steel mill to secure a steady supply of steel for its vehicle without needing to import 100%. Already, most manufacturing entities in Nigeria have begun to create a division that is into exporting. So when everybody is crying that the Central Bank of Nigeria is not allocating enough forex, the companies are still getting their forex from export. But as you know, once NNPC does not bring oil money and our diaspora remittance are exhausted, where else do you get the currency from? Because at the moment, we are not attracting much foreign investment. Our FDI, our foreign direct investment, has gone down over the years, and it's very strongly connected to some of the issues that plague our country at the moment. Many businesses have been downsizing quietly. They don't have to announce that they are laying off their staff. No one will even tell you that they are downsizing. They will simply just lay people off. This is such a critical issue. Now you know why I asked you to call anyone you know working in a manufacturing company and just ask the question, how are you at this time? But before we go, I'd like to share with you some quick economic fun facts about Nigeria, okay? Nigeria is the world's largest producer of chili peppers, with the fiery Scotch bonnet pepper being a national favorite. Not only does it add spice to Nigerian cuisine, but it also contributes to the country's economy through exports and local market. Thank you for joining today. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms. My name is Oluwa Pelubiawe, and have a good week.